Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into a book that has revolutionized how we think about building businesses and products, The Lean Startup by Ries. If you've ever had a brilliant idea but struggled to bring it to life, or if you're tired of building things nobody wants, then this video is for you. We're going to break down the core principles of The Lean Startup in about 10 minutes, giving you actionable insights and examples straight from the book. Let's get started. Chapter 1. The Problem with Traditional Management. So, what's the big problem Ries addresses? He argues that traditional management, especially in startups, often leads to wasted effort. We spend months, even years, perfecting a product based on assumptions, only to launch it and discover that customers don't need it, or they want something completely different. This is essentially building a leap of faith product. Key idea: startups are not smaller versions of big companies. They operate under conditions of extreme uncertainty. Traditional management methods, designed for predictable environments, often fail here. The foundation of the book rests on 5 core pillars. 1. Entrepreneurs are everywhere. You don't need a garage to be a startup. You just need a human institution designed to create something new under conditions of extreme uncertainty. 2. Entrepreneurship is management. A startup is a reboot of management, not just a creative spark. 3. Validated learning. Startups exist to learn how to build a sustainable business. 4. Build, measure, learn. The core activity of a startup is to turn ideas into products, measure how customers respond, and then learn whether to pivot or persevere. 5. Innovation accounting. To improve entrepreneurial outcomes, we need to focus on the boring stuff: how to measure progress, how to set up milestones, and how to prioritize work. Example from the book: Ries talks about a common scenario where a team spends a huge amount of time and money developing a complex software feature. They believe it's innovative and will be a hit. However, upon launch, customer feedback reveals that the feature is confusing, or worse, unnecessary. All that effort wasted. Ries discusses how traditional management often rewards hitting milestones that don't actually matter, like finishing a feature, while Lean Startup rewards learning what customers actually value. Chapter 2. Introducing the Lean Startup Methodology. This is where the Lean Startup methodology comes in. It's a framework for developing businesses and products that aims to shorten product development cycles, measure actual progress without resorting to vanity metrics, and learn when to pivot or persevere. The core of this methodology is the build, measure, learn feedback loop. Key idea: the Lean Startup is a scientific approach to creating and managing startups. It's about rigorous experimentation. The build, measure, learn loop. Build, create a minimum viable product, MVP. This isn't a half-baked product. It's the simplest version of your product that allows you to test your core assumptions. Measure. Collect data on how customers interact with your MVP. This data should be actionable, not just vanity metrics, like total signups without engagement. Learn. Analyze the data to understand what you've learned about your customers and your product. This learning informs your next step. Do you pivot, change your strategy, or persevere? Continue on your current path. Example from the book: Zappos started not by building a massive inventory and a slick website, but by taking photos of shoes in local stores and posting them online. They wanted to test if people would actually buy shoes online. When they saw people clicking buy, they knew they were onto something, even before they had the shoes themselves. This was an MVP to test the core assumption of online shoe purchasing. Chapter 3. Minimum Viable Product, MVP. Your first experiment. The MVP is probably the most misunderstood concept in Lean Startup. It's not about releasing a shoddy product. It's about releasing the smallest thing that allows you to start the learning process. The goal is to validate your core business hypotheses as quickly and cheaply as possible. Key idea: the MVP's purpose is to test a specific hypothesis about your business, not to be a fully functional product. Types of MVPs: concierge, MVP, you manually perform the service for your first customers. Example, a personal concierge service where you personally handle every request to understand the demand and process. Landing page, MVP. Create a web page describing your product and see how many people sign up for a waiting list or express interest. Example, Dropbox famously used a video explaining their file syncing service before it was fully built, generating massive interest. Explainer video MVP, similar to the landing page, but uses a video to communicate the value proposition. Example from the book. The team behind IMVU, a 3D avatar chat service, created a video demonstrating their concept. They showed it to potential users and asked if they would be interested in such a product. The positive response validated their hypothesis that people would want to interact in a 3D virtual space, even before they had built the complex software. Another example is Dropbox. They couldn't build the complex file syncing technology overnight. Instead, Drew Houston created a simple 3-minute video demonstrating how the software would work. The waitlist jumped from 5,000 to 75,000 people overnight. That was validated learning. Chapter 4. Innovation Accounting and Actionable Metrics. Once you're building and releasing, how do you know if you're actually making progress? This is where innovation accounting comes in. It's about establishing a baseline for your current performance and then rigorously testing hypotheses that can lead to improvements. This requires focusing on actionable metrics, not vanity metrics. Key idea: vanity metrics, like total downloads, don't tell you why things are happening or how to improve. Actionable metrics, like conversion rates at specific stages, do. Actionable metrics. Examples: customer lifetime value, CLTV. How much revenue a customer generates over their entire relationship with your company. Customer acquisition cost, CAC. How much it costs to acquire a new customer. Conversion rates. The percentage of users who complete a desired action, e.g., sign up, purchase. Churn rate. The percentage of customers who stop using your product or service. Example from the book. A startup might see thousands of signups, vanity metric. But if none of them actually use the product or convert to paying customers, it's not progress. Innovation accounting would focus on metrics like percentage of users who complete the onboarding process, or daily active users who perform a core action. If these actionable metrics are low, the team knows they need to iterate on the product or the onboarding experience. Chapter 5. Pivot or persevere. Making the decision. The ultimate goal of the build, measure, learn loop is to gain validated learning. This learning then guides your decision. Do you pivot or persevere? A pivot is a structured course correction designed to test a new fundamental hypothesis about your product, strategy, and engine of growth. It's not a failure. It's a smart strategic move. Key idea: pivots are not about admitting defeat, but about making informed changes based on what you've learned. Common pivot types. Zoom in. Pivot. A single feature becomes the whole product. Zoom out. Pivot. What was considered the whole product becomes a single feature. Customer segment. Pivot. Targeting a different customer segment with your existing product. Platform. Pivot. Changing from an application to a platform, or vice versa. Example from the book. Groupon is a classic example of a pivot. They initially started as a platform called The Point, which was meant for collective action. They found that users were more interested in their group buying deals than in organizing collective action. So they pivoted to focus solely on group deals, which became the foundation for Groupon's massive success. Another example is Bourbon. It started as a complicated location-based check-in app with many features. The founders realized people weren't using the check-in features, but they were obsessed with the photo-sharing filters. They pivoted, stripped everything else away, and created Instagram. Chapter 5. Engines of Growth and Batching. How do you know if you are actually growing or just seeing vanity metrics? The 3 engines. 1. Sticky engine. Focuses on high customer retention. 2. Viral engine. Growth happens as a side effect of customers using the product, e.g., Hotmail, Facebook. 3. Paid engine. Increasing growth by reinvesting profits into advertising. Example from the book, IMVU. Ries shares his own experience with IMVU, realizing that instead of waiting months to release a perfect version, they should have released small batches of features to see which ones actually drove user engagement. And that's a wrap on The Lean Startup by Ries. The core takeaway is this: stop building in the dark, embrace experimentation, focus on validated learning, and be ready to adapt. Whether you're building a tech startup, a new product within a large company, or even a personal project, these principles can help you avoid wasted effort and build something truly valuable. If you found this summary helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more content like this, and let me know in the comments what your biggest takeaway was or if you have any questions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.